Okay, so this week we're going to be looking at find the volume of prisms and cylinders. So we found the surface area of them. Now the volume. So when we're talking about volume, we're talking about the amount of space. Like if we were going to fill this prism up with water, the amount of liquid it'll be able to hold. So whenever we're dealing with volume, the volume of of a prism is going to be volume is equal to the area of the base times the area times the height. So B over here, this is the area of the base, and then H will be the height of the overall prism. Now notice how I'm not saying the height of the base, it's the height of the prism, Let me just write that. Okay, cool. So now first, before we can find our volume, we need to find the area of the base. Now this figure is called a triangular prism because we can actually see the shape of a triangle pop up. And usually, right, if it has that name, triangular, like if you see here the name of the shape, like that, like rectangular, triangular, trapezoidal, that will be your base. So the base figure is that triangle. And as we know with triangles, the area of a triangle, that's going to be area is equal to 1/2 base times height. Now here, I'm talking, the height here is not the height of the prism, it's the height of the triangle. So let me just redraw that. Okay, so here I have my little right angle. 5 will be down here, it seems, and 12 will be there. And it seems like, okay, so if this is 13, this should also be 13. That's just with the definitions of rectangles. Okay, so we have this triangle that we have, and now we're trying to find the base and the height. So usually the base and the height, that's the one that forms that right angle. So the two numbers here, the two lengths that form that right angle is that 12 and that 5. So that's what I'm going to plug into my area formula. 1/2 12 times 5. 12 times 5, I know that's 60. So half of 60 is going to be 30 inches squared. So that's my base area. Now that I have this, I can go ahead and plug it into my volume. So volume would be base times height, area of the base times height. So the area of the base is 30. And now that height, it's going to be like how thick the the prism is. So over here, the one that's measuring its like width or height right over here would be 4. So I'm doing 30 times 4. Now there's going to be some numbers that we might not even use. They just include it just to throw you off. But yeah. So 30 times 4, that's 120 inches cubed. Right? So this is the volume for this figure right over here. Now let's scroll our way down to this figure. This one is a cube. And what we know about cube is that the cubes, that all the sides are equal, right? Now here, notice how there really isn't like triangular, rectangular. You don't say squareoid, cube. You just say cube. The base would, so we know how all the sides of the cube is the same. Another shape with all the sides equaling the same like this would be a square. So our base our base figure is going to be a square. So if we're trying to find the area of our square, it's going to be side squared. And this is going to be 4 to the second power. Now, again, I'm just finding the area of this square, not the whole cube, it's just that one face. So 4 squared, that's the same as saying what is 4 times 4, and that's 16 feet squared. Now that I have this, I could plug it into here. So my volume is going to be my base, which is 16, times the area, so the base area is 16, and the height, okay, so here, like I said, all the side spaces of this square is the same. So it's going to be about 4 feet tall. So 16 times 4. 24, 4, 64. 64 feet cubed. Okay, so now that is going to be my volume for this cube. Now, whenever I have the volume of cube, instead of this, it's going to be feet cube. Sorry, whenever we're dealing with volume, any sort of volume, whether it be with the cube or the triangular prism, your notation, it's going to be 3, because you're dealing with 3 dimensions. Okay. All right. So that these are just examples similar to the questions you're having today, and that's it.